Demon Souls, the first game to start off the Souls series, which is not my first Souls game. My first Souls game is Elden Ring, which I actually played, love. I completed Elden Ring this year. I want to say thanks to Kai, which I doubt Kai will ever watch this, has made me get the energy to revisit and actually beat Elden Ring. I was like halfway through it and I like gave up. Unfortunately, that was one of those people who did give up on the game, but thankfully I have people I watch who motivate me to try the game again. Love Elden Ring. But after completing Elden Ring, I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to revisit other Souls games. So I was like, hey, why not try to revisit Demon Souls, the first Souls game to start off the Souls series, from what I seen and read online. I just want to talk about basically my experience of playing Demon Souls, and basically like just chat about Demon Souls. I thought it was a pretty good game. I don't really see many people talk about since the release of the remaster, and before the remaster came out, I never even heard of it. So yeah, played Demon Souls this past week. Took me about 15 hours to beat. Enjoyed it. Actually found it pretty easy than Elden Ring, with my Elden Ring experience. Not say I'm the most experienced Elden Ring player, but after playing Elden Ring and then jumping back to Demon Souls, well, jumping into Demon Souls, which is a older title technically because as it original release was in 09, found it pretty easy. So I just want to talk about basically the plot of Demon Souls. The plot of Demon Souls, I'm gonna read it right here. I don't want to like miss any information. My apology. The plot of Demon Souls is you are sent to a kingdom called Balteria. I might have mispronounced that, which has been consumed by magical deep fog. With that brought along some soul-eating demons. The character that you create is assigned a mission from the Monumental, asks you to clear demons out in 5 different archstones. Each archstone has its own region. May I say each of those archstones, I'm not gonna deny, has a whole different feel and vibe. That's one thing I did appreciate about this. It kind of, I'm not saying it reminded me of Elden Ring, but like, you know, in Elden Ring when you go different visit different areas of the map, it had like a whole different atmosphere. Definitely will say that about the archstones in Demon Souls. Each archstone, basically the different map areas that you will explore to like kill the demons, has different like enemies, different weaknesses of enemies. So like each enemy might have a different type of weakness, and obviously, you know, different main bosses to fight. That's one thing I definitely liked about the different archstones. Definitely have the different vibe, atmosphere to it. So basically part of the main plot is you're assigned to, hey, we need you to clear out all these demons and take out all these demon bosses out these archstones, and basically you become a demon slayer. Not like the show, but just you're basically a slayer of demons, I believe it's called in the game. Like in Demon Souls, you start off in like the first archstone, which I have written down right here. I want to make sure I say right. The small king archstone, which you start off like the gates of Balteria. It's like the castle, which is really massive. The castle is actually pretty massive. I expected it to be a lot more smaller, but the more you dive more into the map, it's really massive, but super easy. I started off, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have multiple different playthroughs starting. So I first started off as like a knight, really heavy armor set. I was fat rolling a lot, felt it pretty hard to move around. As an Elden Ring, I like to roll really fast, move, traverse really quickly in combat. So I went back and I made another character build, which I heard seen some YouTube videos, they recommended the royalty build. I made the royalty build. It's known for like having a really good starting mage build. You know, you start off with the silver catalyst with the soul arrows, and I ain't gonna lie, the soul arrows was really good. The rapier, you also get the rapier sword, really good to start you off with. The entire beginning section, didn't die once, was really easy. Got to the first main boss, super easy. And then after that, you go to this long bridge. You gotta deal with a dragon. That's when I started, this is a little challenge because you could get one shot off the dragon's, like he shoots off fire. Dragon shoots off fire. So sections like that, like it starts off really easy, then it gets a little, all right, it gets a little harder. So each main boss, I realized in every archstone, every map area you explore, very beginning is easy. After you defeat the main boss, you could go against the same enemy type from the beginning of that area to like towards the middle of the area. They get a little more, like a little more health. They output a little more damage. But overall it was pretty easy. Yeah, so like the first main boss, second main boss, super easy. After that, you go to the second archstone. It's like a mining area. Oh, sorry, this is all shaking up. It's like a mining area. Found that one pretty difficult. I realized that those enemies had to like take blunt force to take real damage, or like piercing. So I had to like change up my weapon type and stuff like that. So that's one thing I did like about you're going to a different world. or a different region, and you're realizing like, oh shit, these enemies are not taking the same type of damage as the first enemies I encountered in Gates of Balteria. So that's one thing I definitely enjoyed from the game. Was like, that's one thing I would definitely say it's a pro, is like, all right, you actually got to change it up. These enemies are all not going to take the same type of damage. I know I'm like kind of progressing through my, like, the way I played it, but yeah, like, really enjoyed it, really fun. Highly, like, would say was pretty easy. Like, all right, this is pretty easier. Like, the first two main bosses took me one try. I didn't have to like, oh shit, I died, let me try this again. No, it took me one try, both of the first main bosses. The third main boss, that's one thing. No, I'm lying to you. No, the third main boss is like a flame spider. He's pretty annoying because he shoots out webs and it slows down your mobility. Flame Lurker was the hardest boss I dealt with the entire game. After that, you fight like a dragon god. I don't really want to spoil it in case you haven't played Demon Souls. Highly recommend it. But this is like pretty much the only hardest boss I dealt with in the game, was maybe within my first 3 hours. I think when I got to the Flame Lurker, you just gotta deal with like, yeah, take fall damage to get to him, and then when you fight him, you have to deal with flame and physical damage from him. That's why I dealt with like the hardest. But even with the final boss of the game, which I was surprised, like I thought, all right, this is a little spoiler. I'm gonna put like spoiler. I might put a timestamp, skip it. When I fought old, I think it was like Old Knight Allant. I might have mispronounced the shit out of that. He doesn't have a weakness, but it's just more like you gotta be patient. All right, you gotta time his attack. All right, he's gonna dive towards you. You attack him then. That's the only time I really felt like, all right, this guy is actually a little challenging because he doesn't have a weakness. I actually Googled it. I was like, all right. He took me like 2 tries. But my first try, I died. I'm like, bro, I don't feel like he was taking much damage from even my magic attacks or even my regular attacks. So I Googled it and it just said like, yo, he has no weakness. You just gotta be patient. So I was like, all right, this is a battle you need to be a little more patient on fighting him. And I thought it was the final boss because after I defeated him, it was like you go back and you know, oh, I forgot her name. I feel so wrong. I just literally just beat the game last night. The woman with no eyes that you go to her to level up your character. I forgot her name. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen. My apology. I'll put it on the screen. My apology. You go to her and she's like, all right, like, we're done. Like, you know, we're being called down. You go down and you go to this area. You go to this area that you gotta like enter. It's like it looks like a cocoon. You enter through it. There's 3 branches break, and then there's the final boss, which is like the old one. It's called the old one, which is the one who caused the entire like demons, soul eating demons in this area. He's the reason that he caused it. You defeat him. He's the easiest. He's the final boss. He's the final boss, and he's the easiest boss to fight. Easiest boss to fight in the entire game. He doesn't move. He's super slow. There's no defense. I didn't even get hit once by him. I didn't get hit once by him because how slow he was. Unfortunately, I don't have no gameplay of it, but I'll definitely display some gameplay on the screen for you guys. But he's extremely slow. Like I finished him off quickly. I just like put some type of magic. I forgot the spell's called, but you kind of put like magic attack damage to your weapon. So I did it to my katana, and I was just piercing him and doing heavy attacks, and took him out like within like a minute. After that, like the ending of the game, you see I forgot her name. It's Madden. Something with Maiden. She goes and she's like, I'm gonna take over, don't worry, like I'll take care of this, and you leave. That's the good ending. I know the bad ending, I haven't experienced it yet, but I read online, you basically attack her and you take over. But yeah, like that's the legit final. I thought the Old Knight Allah was the legit final boss. He's not. It's the old one. And that was the easiest final boss. Me who played Elden Ring, and the final boss I thought was Radagon, and I killed Radagon. I was like, yes, let's go. We got Radagon. Like it took me about 5 tries to kill him. Then the Elden Beast came out. I'm like, oh, we're not done? I thought Radagon was the... Oh, hold on. I gotta fight the Elden Beast? And the Elden Beast took me, no lie, like about 2 weeks. And I'm not saying I want to struggle, but I think after playing Elden Ring and experiencing those games, Elden Ring, like learning your enemy, you're learning his attack patterns, you're learning, all right, this is his weakness, this is his, like, you know, he's like really not weak to this type of stuff, and like you learn your enemy, and then once you finally beat him, that like, how can I say, you feel, it feels like you're rewarded, like, yes, I defeat him, like you actually achieve a very difficult enemy. That's how I felt after I beat the Elden Beast. I was so excited, I was so happy I defeated him. As difficult he really was, I like was so amped. when I beat the old one, it's like, really? This is the old guy that took over Baltaria? So I think that's one of my biggest complaints, was literally like easy enemy. All right, let me just put this as one section. My apology. Like, again, this is my first time doing this type of video, so I'm thankful for you guys to be a little more patient with me. Demon's Souls is a good game. I really enjoyed it. I played the remake again. I did not play the 2009 version. I played the remake, and I gotta say, graphically amazing. Like, detail, very detailed. You can see your character sweating. You see my character sweating, like me right now. I'm sweating. You see your character sweating. You see pores. You see your character get dirty. The controller, the way when you're attacking, you can feel your controller like moving. I played on the PS5, and I know Demon's Souls remake is only on the PS5. The DualSense controller, when you have you put flames on your blade, and you can feel like the effect on your remote, and when you're like shooting your arrow, all that adds to the experience. So like my experience with Demon's Souls, oh my god, I loved it. It was a good experience but again, it didn't feel too challenging. I'm not sure it's because I played Elden Ring. I'm not sure that's the issue, but I had a really good experience playing Demon's Souls. I enjoyed it. I want to replay it, but for me, who played Elden Ring and hopped to Demon's Souls, I found like it was an easier experience. But I still enjoyed my experience. I like the lore. I didn't really dive in too deep of the lore like compared to Elden Ring. I know Elden Ring lore a lot. I enjoy it. But with Demon's Souls lore, I know a little bit. I like chatting with the NPCs, hearing the conversation with the characters, actually like paying attention, watching the cutscenes and stuff like that. You get an understanding of the lore of what's going on in Demon's Souls, and you're the slayer of demons. But yeah, just Demon's Souls, I would definitely say, if I had to rate it from 1 out of 10, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. And I know people might be like, oh, 7 out of 10. I've seen videos that there's people in the Souls community that dislike Demon's Souls. Like, I know Dark Souls 2 is the most hated one, but they say like Demon's Souls is right there. But then I also watch YouTube videos of people like, yo, Demon's Souls is like my top 3. I'm like, oh damn. So like, it's the big divide, I guess, in the Soul community with this game. And I just gotta say, it is one of the weakest one when you go to like, well, again, I can't really say that because I haven't played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro died. But I'm just saying, like, me playing Elden Ring and defeating those bosses and then hopping on over here, these boss fights felt easy. But I love the different variety of like the regions, the atmosphere, different enemy types in those different regions. The character designs, like I really like the character design of Flame Lurker. He looked really cool. I would rate it a 7 out of 10, above average. Elden Ring's a 10 out of 10. I don't care what you guys say. 10 out of 10 game. Love it. Highly recommend it. Even for someone who never just recommend it, you gotta experience Elden Ring. It's so good. But yeah, I'll give Demon's Souls a 7 out of 10. I say it's above average game. I definitely recommend it. I didn't even know there was gonna be like a type of review. We're getting a rating, but I'm just getting my rating in case someone asks me, hey, what do you rate this game? 7 out of 10. It's above average. Great game. I enjoyed it. Has its flaws, but the flaws are not too heavy for you to be like, yo, I don't want to play this game at all. You could like ignore those flaws. You could definitely still play it. The boss fights, even though they're not super exciting, like you're not fighting a Millennia, you're not fighting a Margit, you're not fighting a Radagon. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this video together. It's gonna be a real weird one for me because this is like my first time doing this, like sitting down, let's chat about a game. I'm gonna chat about my experience. I didn't expect myself to rate it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Enjoyed it. It's above average game. I would definitely like to add in there, don't mind the mess either. This is a crazy setup, right? But one thing I like to add as well is if you never play a Souls game and you're this far in this video, if you are this far in this video, I appreciate you. You're a real one. But if you are new to Souls game and want to try a Souls game, you're like somehow ended up on my video, which I'm not well known. So if you ended on my video, that means you've been doing a lot of research. I don't know. I'm gonna end this video right here. I'm gonna try to end it right here. If you guys are new to this channel, you might see this is not my style type of content. This is something a little different. I'm giving it a try. If you guys did enjoy this, please leave a like, share with friends and friends. Tell me what you guys recommend. I'm just telling you guys right now, my next game I'm gonna be playing is Bloodborne. Bloodborne is my next game. I already have it installed on my PS5. I understand it only runs 30 FPS like that. I don't care. We're gonna experience Bloodborne. Next game I'm doing is Bloodborne. You might receive a video just like this for Bloodborne. Who knows? If you guys do, make sure again, you guys leave a like, subscribe, If you guys want to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.